Hi, welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back, and yes, welcome back. You're here with Tonae Star, and this evening we're going to get messages to find out how you can make the most of this equinox energy. We're moving into the autumn equinox, and this is big energy, big cycles. Interesting that this card came out. This wasn't even supposed to be in this deck. I'm going to read this because I'm not sure where it came from. So we'll find out why that, like, I feel like there's a message there. So, but yeah, as I was saying, we're moving into the autumn equinox. It's one of the cycles we tend to go through. It's a very present energy. And if you, being that it's in Libra season, if you so choose, you can take this energy and use it to balance out some things in your life. There's a passageway, celestial gateways, passages to infinite possibilities. So with this balance, it can come in a multitude of ways. It could be you taking time, introspection with self, and seeing yourself individually and how as an individual you play a part in this collective energy, and finding the balance of harmonizing all of that together. Your I am qualities, the self, along with these celestial gateways, these infinite possibilities, with the greater whole altogether. Okay? So, balance, thinking of the scales of Mayats, not being weighed down, taking time to go within with this introspection and release any unwarranted energies you don't want to bring into this next cycle with you. Anything that needs to be tilled up. When I say tilled, I'm thinking of a garden where before you can plant new seeds, you need to take up the old things that have grown. Okay, so for some of you, you have some things you've grown, they've blossomed, whether they were wanted things or unwanted. At this time, it's a time to rebalance or balance. So it's a time of cleansing, purification, going within, seeing the things that are not beneficial for your garden, clearing that out so that you can set the intention, plant the seeds for what it is and how it is you choose to go into this next cycle in a balanced, more harmonized way. So I decided to let the energy of Kuan Yin speak tonight as the key card, the key focus, the key energy for all of you divine sparks, sparkling stars, the star seeds. Let the celestial energy speak to you this evening. You divine beings, chosen ones, my multidimensional architects. What's good? How y'all doing? Let's find out how you guys can make the most of this equinox energy. Now, this isn't the equinox reading. This is like a pre-reading because we're coming into this energy. If I'm not mistaken, it's the 23rd that it's coming up. So you have another couple of days or so to prepare, to get your mindset into the energy of balancing out by releasing the old and making room for what is to come, individually and collectively, of how you would like to see things integrated, changed, transformed. Big transformation energy this is. And not only is it with Libra season, equinox energy speaks of where the day and the night is also being balanced. So there's this big energy of balancing things out. What is it you would like to balance out in your life? What would you like to see collectively things being balanced out? What energies do you want to release so that it's easier for you to create? I just heard for some of you. So that you can move into these limited possibilities. Okay? Whether it be a mindset, wow, whether it be a place, like some of you, big moves big moves cosmically, big moves even for some of you within self, meaning that you recognize that there's some transformation that needs to happen within self, and you're ready to get in your chariot and make these changes. And as you make individual changes, this allows for those ripple effects to go out, and then also upgrade, uplift, elevate the consciousness of the collective. With this equinox energy, there's also this energy of being able to elevate when it comes to our connection with Gaia, with Mother Earth, with moving forward with how we can make things better and better, to balance things out on a global level also. This is happening in multiple dimensions, but also when it comes to individual, collective, and with how we move forward with Mother Earth in a whole. Can we balance that out? She nurtures and nourishes us with the trees, with the water. How do we now also find balance in how we've been treating Gaia, Earth? Okay? If you haven't thought about that, maybe that's something you set an intention for. That's one of the aspects of this equinox where the energies can be balanced out. We think about ourselves individually, yes. And sometimes, if prompted, you'll think about changes or balance collectively. But have you put on your to-do list to balance things out when it comes to the place where you actually reside? Even if you think this plane is an illusion, you're still here in this illusion. So how can you bring balance to it? Yes, by bringing balance to self. Yes, by balancing things out collectively. But what about active movement? Active, like proactively. That's the word I wanted to use. What was that? Hold on, something just dropped. Let's see, where'd you go? Okay. And let me get one crystal card, and then we'll get into your readings. Do you want something from here? Yeah, why not? What message do you have? How can they make the most of this equinox energy as it's coming up? How can we find balance within self and balance collectively? Group number 2, what messages do you have for them for how to make the most of this energy? And thank you. Okay. So group number 1, your key card, your key energy, your key focus is the Sacred River Yanks. Group number 2, your key card, your key focus, your key energy is the Veil of Shadows. And group number 3, your key card, your key focus, your key energy is Drink from the Emerald Fountain. Card number 7. Look, just before I even get started, I want to show you something. So I feel like there's good changes, big changes, good things happening with this equinox energy and making the most of it. Why do I say that? You got card number 43, group number 2. What is that total? 7. Group number 3, you are number 7. And group number 1, you have card number 25, 777. So we're already starting out in a great positive energy, a great vibration for how to make the most of this equinox energy. Okay? So take a minute, see which card is speaking to you. You can go by the number, or you can choose which. This one is 25. Group number 1, yours is 25. Group number 2, your number is 43. And group number 3, yours is number 7. So the number can speak to you. Let your intuition guide you, or the actual picture itself, or the words. Group number 1, the words on your card are the sacred river Yanks, and this is what the image looks like. Group number 2, you have the veil of shadows with card number 43, and this is what your image looks like. And group number 3, you have drink from the emerald fountain, card number 7, and this is what your image looks like. So let your intuition guide you. And then with this room coming out, the Lewis Rowand, it is speaking mostly about the winter solstice. Even though we're in the time of the autumn equinox. And the key words for this card are protection and intuition. It's about spiritual strength, astral travel, and connection with mystery and magic. And this rune, this card, speaks about you having the ability to be aware of others' manipulations and their power play. And it also makes you alert to any of your own manipulations. So where you may, especially with the autumn equinox, be wanting to balance things out, even with self, to assist you in determining what's good for you and what's not. That's a part of the spiritual strength, and that's what this is speaking about. It's also an indication to turn away from anything that threatens your serenity and your purpose. So that's another way you could make the most of this equinox energy. This card is a message for all, and it's also asking you to weed out any thoughts, any emotions, and any actions that do not reflect your higher self. Okay? So that's a quick little message before we get into your actual messages. So again, group number 3, you have drink from the emerald fountain with card number 7. So that's 3. And group number 2, you have the Valley of Shadows with card number 43. Okay, so that's 2. I'll put 2 here. 2, 3. And group number 1, you have the Sacred River Yanks. Card number 25 is your key card, your key energy, your key focus. You have fake readers that are all about competition, those that bind their clients and to them to take money, and they're jealous of other readers. That's why I usually start with those cards last, because I like to focus on the positive things. But this is how you can make the most of this equinox energy. So to stay balanced, you need to know the good things that are happening and some of the unseen things that are happening. So we're going to be thankful for all of the messages that come forth. Your crystal is the heliotrope. You also have calming the waters with peaceful self-regulation. You have abundance is your right. Let's put this here. Never judge another. You also have head games. East with emergence. Maybe you can't see that. Okay. Release. Fire spirit with energy. Eagle spirit with freedom. Tsunami with wake up call. Transformation. And we spoke about that with this equinox energy and how to make the most of it. There is big transformation that can take place. Shapeshifter with transform and unveil your gifts. Okay, can you see that? Yeah. And you have the rune of Dagas with dawn. And another of Thoraz with thorn. Your chakra card is 20 with play. And your tarot, oh, you have one more. You also have the lovers. Okay. And then your tarot cards are the Queen of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Hangman. So, how can you make the most of this equinox energy? Let me see. Can you see everything? Okay. So, group number 3, for you guys, there's when it comes to this equinox energy and the sacred river Yanks here, you guys have a purification that's happening. With the river here, it speaks of water. So the water is cleansing, it's purging, and you also have calming the waters here. So there's like this balancing out of the emotions for you, group number 1. There's a balancing of the emotions so that you can be free from any thing that was clogging your pathway. Because abundance is your right. You guys are having like this renewal of your energy. Things are emerging for you. Like the dawn with the new day. If you look here, you see how this is like a new day arising here. The sun rises here in the east. And with this equinox energy, you have dawn here also. And this this rune, the dagas, speaks of new things emerging for you. So it's like your energy is being cleansed, being purified. You're going to possibly feel like you guys have a lot more energy that I feel like with this group, and I just heard like you guys are attracting. You're not chasing anything. If you look at this fire in her hand, your energy is magnetic. And as it's being cleansed with the river Yangtze here, so some of you may even need to go to water, cleanse, purify. You also have this dolphin card here, which is another card with the water. You have the tsunami with the wake up call. So there's a lot with water here for you, group number one. When you're, and it's like the water, especially with the heart chakra here, is cleansing your emotions. So I just heard for some of you, you may even need to have a good cry. A lot of people frown on men or will tell grown men that they shouldn't express themselves through their emotions through crying. Oh, you're a man. Men don't cry. And actually, crying, the water, releasing certain water, certain tensions that have been built up in you, allow you to have a cleansing of your soul. So for some of you, this is one way that you can make the most of this energy. Just release some things that have been built up in you. It doesn't make you weak to express your emotions or to let your soul be cleansed by releasing tears. That's one way to peacefully self-regulate yourself. You don't have to do it in front of anyone. You don't even have to let anyone know about it. A lot of you, group number one, with this transformation that is happening, you're evolving on your path. The path is emerging for you. You guys are feeling more able to, like, that you don't have to protect yourself. Like, you know that you're able to protect yourself is what I'm going to say. You have the ability to protect yourself, but you don't feel like you have to be on guard with your wands standing at attention all the time. You know that your intuition will guide you as to who's there for you and who's not. That's what this room spoke about in the very beginning that we were talking about with the message that went for all three groups. But you guys are growing and changing with this transformation here. And you're ready to release any impurities in thoughts, impurities in emotions. You're ready to feel free to shed your skin like the snake and start anew, to start fresh. For some of you, fresh like new lovers. You're not bringing the past along with you, especially if it was something that was weighing you down. You guys are allowing the things that occurred in life, the life circumstances. You're taking those lessons and you're emerging, moving forward with it. That's one of the best ways you can make the best out of this equinox energy. Moving forward, knowing and being in a more balanced way. Thoughts, feelings, emotions. Because you're recognizing now that abundance is your right. A lot of you guys could feel like you're holding more light, like she's holding the fire in her hand, feeling more balanced, not playing head games with yourself. These cycles are over, and not allowing others to play head games with you. You're more balanced. You're able to release unwarranted energies, thoughts, people, and places, and it's becoming more easy of a task for you. It's like you guys won't be weighed down or held back. You're stepping into this energy of Libra with the beauty of self, meaning internal beauty of your soul. Because a lot of you not only are releasing, by releasing, you recognize the value of the things that took place, and it's allowing you to have this huge transformation. You're not judging others. You're allowing them to walk their path. You recognize that we all have a path to walk. But you're more than able, willing, capable to now walk your path. And you're doing so and making the best of this equinox energy. If you're not, then that's one of the ways that you can make the best of this equinox energy, by keeping firm boundaries. That's your wake-up call. And the firm boundaries come because there are some frauds out there. People who will pretend about whatever. But you're not focusing on them or that. It's not going to hold you back. It's not weighing you back. This is how you can make the most of these equinox energy. You're recognizing that that's their path and it's the path they chose, but you keep your firm boundaries and you move forward. That's a big part of the transformation that you guys are having, group number 1. And now that that energy is being released and cleared out, you guys are calling in, for some of you, lovers. There's messages that are going to come in. You guys are receiving divine wisdom, enlightenment. See, the Queen of Wands and this fire spirit here, this is you feeling like, or even having more divine light codes. You guys are receiving light code activations. So you're receiving this celestial insight. That's one of the ways you're making the most, or could make the most of, this equinox energy. To not get weighed down or worry about fake readers or anyone in competition. Your only competition, group number 1, is yourself. How can you better yourself? How can you elevate yourself? And as you're elevating within self, mind, body, spirit, thoughts, and actions, it's allowing those ripple effects to go out throughout the collective consciousness. As you ground yourself with Mother Earth, you and Mother Earth, Gaia, are having an energy exchange. And as you elevate that and receive these light codes that are coming forth for you, as you ground into the earth energy, you're allowing for that elevation to ripple through to Gaia. It's like an energy exchange between the two of you, and then it allows it to go out collectively also. With this autumn equinox, there is a lot of light code activation happening. You can make the most of it by recognizing that there is this cleansing energy, this purging. For some of you, getting by the water, as I stated earlier, and I'm going to reiterate it because you have multiple cards speaking of the water, and keeping yourself in a more peaceful state allows you to focus, get focused, man, on your inner growth. This is about your inner growth, going introspectively to see the things that are wanting to take you out of being in a peaceful regulation, to see the people that will want to take you out of being in a peaceful regulation, the fakers, the competitive ones. But it's not about them. It really is not about them. You just need to be aware of this, group number 1, so that you can set firm boundaries. And I feel like that's a part of your transformation. And it's allowed you to be more free in your energy, free to activate these light codes that are swirling around as we move into this equinox energy. For a lot of you, your relationships are even going to improve because you're emerging like a snake, bigger and better. When they shed that skin, it's because they've gotten too big for it. So some of you, wow, I just heard some people feel like y'all got too big for y'all britches, whatever that is. Who coming from the country with that? But yeah, you've gotten too big for certain circles, certain energies, and this is not to be like, oh, I'm bigger. No, it's not. It's because you're elevating in your spirit, in your mind, elevating because of these light codes, and you want this, and making the best of this equinox energy. So for a lot of you, you may want to go by a river, and for some of you, cry it out, release it. Some of you sit by the water and journal. Speak to the water as you drink it. Water holds memory. Excuse me. And that's why. Wow. Wow. Hold on. We're going to get these messages out regardless. Some of you may want to sit by the water and journal it out, or sit by the water and have a good cry. No one has to be there. It releases the water, the emotional waters that have been built up in you. Some of you are holding on to things and you feel like, and it's affecting you whether you know it or not. So whichever way you choose to release it, if it's by playing in the water, if it's just by sitting and journaling by water, maybe if it's speaking to the water before you drink it, because as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, is that water holds memory. So that's why when you cry, you get to release a lot of this energy. Take your shoes off, go outside, cry it out, talk to Mother Gaia, let her transform that energy for you. Have that energy exchange with her so that you can release these unwarranted energies. You do have the ability to do so. This is going to help a lot of you with your higher self to release some of those impurities that you've been holding on in your emotional body and in your physical body for some of you. Not worrying about anyone that's doing anything to win at all costs. You recognize them, who they are, who the fake readers are, who's all about competition, and even who may be jealous. But during this equinox energy, that's not what you're focused on, group number one. That's actually the things you want to release. As I said, you're going to allow them to walk their path, and if they choose to stay in that cycle, then it's a choice. But for you to make the most of this equinox energy, it's for you to release the thoughts, the people that keep you in a mental, like want you to mentally, I just heard it's like what is the word I just heard? Not fake competition. There's another word, but it's like you're not even in competition, but it's like they're in competition with you. But that's not for you to be focused on. It's not. Those are the things that will weigh you down during this equinox energy. And you're having this growth, this transformation, this change. So go ahead and take the time to reflect on your inner evolution, because things are emerging for you. Focus on the things that are coming forth, the good that is emerging. Focus on the ways that you can balance out your emotions. Knowing that abundance is your birthright, and as your energy is being cleansed, for some by fire, meaning you could sit with a candle, especially with it being the autumn equinox. It could be the candles of autumn, red, the orange, the yellow. When this card came out, I see all of those colors. Connecting with nature is going to be big. Keeping your heart light, not weighed down, is another way to make the most of this equinox energy. Recognizing that it is possible to allow yourself to have this transformation and unveil your gifts, but staying in a peaceful state. Some are going to want to take you, like get you to try to, want to get you to focus on these fake competitions. And it's a fake competition because your only competition is yourself, group number one. Not anyone else, just your spiritual evolution, your inner evolution. Because what happens within is then what ripples effects without. Okay? So, yeah, be kind and patient to yourself and stay true to yourself and trust that this spiritual growth, it serves all. Okay? Group number 1, that has been your reading for how you can make the most of this equinox energy. Staying in a peaceful state, getting by water, knowing that the water has the energy, the ability to cleanse your innermost, to like purge out those emotions that you've been holding on to. Your crystal is the heliotrope. Heliotrope, also known as bloodstone, like its namesake, it can cleanse negative energy in the blood. By doing this, it grounds any anger or resentment in your heart and your blood. It throws a calming effect on your heart when you are feeling irritated and impatient. Okay? So that's the thing, group number 1. Some fake readers or competition, those that are jealous, want you to feel irritated and impatient. But in order to make the best of this equinox energy, stay peaceful, stay in a calm state, stay playful and light in heart, stay focused on your inner growth, your inner evolution, and let that ripple effect go out, knowing that you're free. Free your mind of those thoughts, free your mind of these people. Allow this transformation to happen. Allow what's on the inside of you, the peace, the joy, the playfulness, because your heart, with the heart chakra card here, is like that gateway, is that portal that's going to allow you to connect to this celestial energy and this light codes that are happening. The heart chakra for you, group number 1, is going to assist you, is the portal that allows your light code activation to happen. So don't let others get you irritated and aggravated, make you feel impatient. No, during this equinox energy, stay in a peaceful state, in thoughts, in your words, in your actions. Keep yourself balanced, finding the beauty. Okay, as we move into this Libra season, you guys are transforming. You're shedding this state, this skin like a snake. And there's this purification that's happening for you guys. So receive it. Don't get sidetracked. All right. Let the scales be balanced in the best way that they can. Okay. And that's by you staying in a very peaceful state. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So take some time out for self if you need to. Getting in touch with nature. Go hug a tree. I don't know. Go greet the sun early in the morning early in the rising for a lot of you. Seeing things from a higher perspective. Allowing this transformation to happen. Not judging others, allowing them to walk their path. If being a fake reader and in competition and being jealous of others is the path you choose, it's your choice. Or they could have a wake-up call. It feels like you guys had your wake-up call, group number 1. And if you haven't, then that's how you could make the most of this equinox energy. Okay? Now, group number 2. Yeah, this was 2. Group number 2, you guys chose card number 43 with the Veil of Shadows as your key card, your key focus, your key energy. Your crystal is the lapis lazuli. Do I have that here somewhere? No, I don't. I gotta put the lapis out. Here, lapis lazuli on the board just for you, group number 2. Okay? And you have toil and labor. You also have sensuality. You have intention. Let's put that here. You also have love is your energy. Nah. Yeah. Let's put that there, right? You have X-ray vision, fire with passion, sensuality, passion, fire, passion. Cooperation, stability, strength, breath with forest, the air guardian with shift your perception. Hagalas with hail, and the Wonjo with joy. Inspiration. This card is thoughts and visions. And your tarot is the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress, the Chariot, and the Page of Pentacles. Okay, group number 2. So how can you guys make the most of this equinox energy? So with the veil of shadows, card number 43 talks about the lotus flower and how it plunges its roots deep within the earth, but deep within the mud to draw its nourishment. Deep into the mud, into the murky of the water, into the earth. And that's where the growth happens. And that great beauty is revealed. So when the lotus flower emerges from the shadows, while you have the veil of shadows here, it emerges with all of this beauty. And it's like your soul is a lotus blossom that is blooming. So that's one of the ways to make the most of this equinox energy. It's like just like a plant outgrows its pot and then needs to be replanted, requiring more soil, requiring more nutrients so that its roots can spread out and continue to grow. Your soul, group number 2, is needing that so that it can strengthen its roots, so that you can continue in this wisdom that is emerging for you. You guys have a clear sight, a clear vision of where it is you're going, how it is you're moving, who you want to cooperate with, and the intentions that you're setting. You guys are recognizing that in the spiritual realm, all things serve a purpose. Love, as a higher vibration, serves its purpose. And even the hailstorms, when the rain falls, serves its purpose. The fact that the light serves a purpose, and even the dark serves a purpose. If you look at this card, she's the only thing that's kind of lit up. The background is, so it's like you're your own light, group number 2. But even in the darkness, you shine. It's like you guys can see in the darkness with the X-ray vision here. And so the best way, the best way for you to make the most of this equinox energy if you haven't recognized it, is to shift your perception about things and seeing that the light has its part, but so does the dark, so does the dirt, so does the mud. I just heard even the mud that was thrown on your name was there so that your seeds could grow. So while you have the storm and the hailstorm and things might have felt all broken up, after the storm, the rain comes out, and then there's joy with the Wunjo rune here. It allowed you all of that being stuck in the mud to ignite your passions and to tap into your inspiration. And if you're not, then that's how you could make the most of this equinox energy. Seeing the love, and I just heard, and going through the pain. Being in the mud, but knowing that it's there so that you can take your roots, so that your roots can go deeper. For a lot of you, this has happened with work, with toil and labor here. You felt like you've put a lot in. But what you learned in the process is what's valuable. The skills you've gained can't be taken away from you, group number 2. So yeah, you were in toil and labor, but all that did was sharpen your skill set. It sharpened your abilities. So see the dark as well as the light. Okay, you were in this dungeonous looking place, working day and night, toil and labor. Oh, but you perfected it, is what I heard. And now, to make the most of this equinox energy, it's about changing your perception. Instead of seeing it as toil and labor, see it as preparation to step into higher elevation. Ooh, I like that. Preparation to step into higher elevation. You needed this toil and labor. And with toil and labor here, it's like you guys weren't getting equal... What's that scene I'm thinking about? Like, it was a movie with the Scrooge. Like, they wanted people to work, but then they didn't really want to pay the value. And if you look at it, that... Oh, wow, don't do it. I'm not going to go there. Yeah, we're going to go there. Let's do it. If you think about most people today, some of the hardest working people, toil and labor, the hardest working people are receiving the least amount of pay. But are you going to stay focused on what went wrong, or being stuck in the mud, or being stuck in this dark, I don't know why I keep saying dark, dungeonous place? Or are you going to tap into your love energy, your sensuality, your passion, and let that toil and labor inspire you to move forward, shifting your perception? Rising like the lotus blossom and being able to breathe. You came out of this dungeon and now you're in the light. You see the light right here? See the light? Yeah, you came out of the dungeon into the light, group number 1. So go on, stop for a minute. Let me go do it with you and take a deep breath. You came out of the toil and labor. You came out of the dungeon. You've come out of the dark. And now, because all things play a part, you can step into the sunlight. And now you can do what? Woo! Taking a good deep breath. Because now with your new perception, and this is how you make the most of this equinox energy, you can now move into a place of stability. Stability because, yeah, you were there in toil and labor. But baby, all it did was sharpen your skill set. What? You could do it with your eyes closed. You do that anyway when you're in meditation. So what, group number 1? Oh, two, group number 2. So look, you guys are finding the balance in all things. And if you're not, then this is how you make the most of this equinox energy. You're finding a way to harmonize, to balance out, to integrate the dark and the light. So you got it out the mud for some of you, or out this dark ass dungeon. But you did it. You see that group number 2? You did it. So you can shift your perception now and move into this energy of joy, allowing that balance to happen as you shift your perception. You needed that mud, like the veil of the shadows. You needed those shadows, shadow aspects of self. Some of y'all dealt with other people's shadows, but you're not focused on that right now. You're focused on self. So you found your shadows, that mud that was within you. And then you planted your intentions. And now your passions are igniting. The joy is balancing you out. You guys have X-ray vision for where you're heading. Who you're heading there with. Who are you going to cooperate with? Who's in your soul family for some of you? You guys, when you were dealing with other people's shadow, another way that you're balancing this out and making the most of this equinox energy is, again, recognizing that every experience has its value. Without the dirt and the mud and even the compost and the fertilizer, which is just for, they use animal stuff and worm castings and all kind of stuff to grow something beautiful. And it could have been very challenging for a lot of you, but in order to make the most of this equinox energy, there's that shift of perception that needs to happen. It could have felt extremely uncomfortable. Working day and night, toiling labor. But can you shift your perception to see how that challenge could benefit you? That's how you could make the most of this equinox energy. It might have started out with you guys having to be taught or taking a class. But now I just heard like y'all jumping to the head of the class. It's like the chariot. Now you're having things to offer. You're changing your perception. You had the thoughts at first that weren't possibly beneficial to you. But to make the most of this equinox energy, see that you have a new beginning. Just like the lotus flower rises when the sun every day, you can now see clearly how to balance out these energies, how to bring forth your intentions. How to nurture yourself and attract what it is that you want so that you can move forward in a more peaceful state. And then even offer to others the balance, the harmony that you've received. And this is where it goes out collectively. You started with this new beginning with self, Ace of Wands, and shifting your perception. Then you set those intentions to say, hey, wow, I was in toil and labor. But look what I've gained. All of these skills and these talents and these abilities. Oh my. Skills and talents and abilities. Oh my. Skills and talents and abilities. Oh my. Love is your energy, group number 2. Allow your joy to come forth. Look at the inspiration you've gained. You've learned how to nurture self through the tough times, and now to be able to nurture others, and you're birthing forth these intentions now, and you're well stable in your skill set, your abilities, your gifts. Oh my. You can clearly see things that are even in the unseen, is what I just heard for a lot of you. You guys have this wisdom, feminine wisdom with the Empress here. And it's allowing you to move forward. You tapped into your feminine energy and you figured out, instead of doing all of this toil and labor, you found a balance. So yes, there is time when it's necessary to take action, to gain the skill sets, to use the skill sets. And then there's times where you just attract. That's a part of making the best of this equinox energy for you, balancing out the actions and the attraction. Ooh, I like that too. So there's a time for action and then there's a time for attraction. Finding that balance, shifting your perception about the toil and the labor, recognizing that all things have their value, even the circumstances that were very uncomfortable. They allowed you to have skills, gifts, abilities. And now you can be thankful with an attitude of gratitude as you move forward with joy. And now you'll be able to allow that to ripple out and inspire others. Because some are wondering how you made it through some of the things you made it through. And it was with divine guidance, with the Most High saying, girl, you just learning, or guy, baby, you just learning how all things play a part in it. The light, the dark, the toil, the labor, the skills, the gifts, the mud, and the blossoming of the lotus, like a lotus. The dirt that allows the seeds to grow. So some of y'all felt like you were buried, but y'all know y'all was just being planted, and now you've blossomed and blooming with all of these passions and this inspiration and this joy. You went through the hailstorms, but you found strength and stability. And even though it was hard work for a lot of you, you're now able to step out and breathe, baby. Take a deep breath. Yeah. So, your crystal card says the lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli says, balance is what this stone can help you with. See, we were just talking about that balance. Harmonizing your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical self. It brings inner peace. When used with meditation, this beautiful stone opens the third eye and allows you to see inside of yourself. You'll see the real you. So that's another way to balance and make the most of this equinox energy. Tap into going within for self and changing your perception. The things you thought that were toil and labor and that every storm was always knocking at your door. Can you find a balance in it and how it assisted you to grow emotionally, to grow mentally, to grow spiritually, and for a lot of you, even physically? This is how you can make the most of this equinox energy, group number 2. Thank you for joining me. That has been your reading. Now, let's do group number 3. That was kind of deep, group number 2. That was a nice reminder for self, for you individually, and for the collective as a whole. All things have their value. The light, the dark, and all of it. Okay. And then group number 3, your key card, your key energy, your key focus is drink from the Emerald Fountain with card number 7. Your crystal card is the turquoise. Pretty. You also have journey. You have clarity. Release toxic relationships. Pick up after yourself. Ancestors with wisdom. vision, truth, purity, rebirth, initiation. I'm going to find out what y'all being initiated into. I always like to find out when I see those initiation cards. Eagle would see from a higher perspective. Now let's put this with the other eagle. Can you see that? Yeah, that'll work. You have the Fehu with cattle and wealth. And you have the Nadis with need. Your chakra card is inner strength. And let's do tarot first. Your tarot cards are the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. So we'll put those all right there. Can you see that? Yeah. And then never fails. Spiritual warfare and backfired, return to sender. Okay, so group number 3. How can you make the most of this equinox energy? You have as your key card, your key focus card number 7 with drink from the emerald fountain. And this is with divine feminine energy here, okay? So this divine feminine energy is encouraging you of this spiritual, like a spiritual awakening that is happening for you. And it's like when you're sincerely seeking like spiritual growth, spiritual evolution, right? There are beneficial energies that assist a true seeker. You're not so it's like you're not in your ego wanting to take spirituality and just use it because it makes you feel powerful. Not that you shouldn't feel powerful within yourself, but like some people, okay, I just got this scenario. Okay, do it, say it. It's okay. Listen, do you remember like when you guys were in high school and then there were in high school, you always have different cliques, we'll call them, different groups, right? So you would have like, I'm taking a side note. I'm going to make an illustration here. So like you would have the jocks and then they were popular because they could do sports. And then you would have like the cheerleaders and like, we're so gorgeous, you know? And so like they were popular because they dated the ball players or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so then you'd have like the musicians and those people that could sing real good. So, you know, whenever you got that talent and they have the talent shows, you got them people that be like, yo, that's my friend right there. She be singing, you know what I'm saying? Like that. So there's these different cliques, but then there's also this, I don't want to say forgotten element, but like the kids that were bullied in school. So like when I was in high school, and this was a while ago, but we ain't gonna get into that. When I was in high school, there was like a certain group, and I probably was one of these kids like during 9th and 10th grade or something like that. But like, I'm gonna go specifically somewhere, right? Just hear me out. So like, there was, I call it like right now a forgotten element, right? And I say the forgotten element because it's like they were the kids that were picked on for whatever reason. Mostly some because they were shy, and so people would pick on them who were mostly insecure with themselves, but it made them look good to pick on someone who more than likely wouldn't defend themselves. And what some of these, okay, so like this was like ninth grade, this kid wouldn't defend themselves. And then like they got into certain darker aspects of energy. And so, and I'm not saying that everyone that wears black or wears black nail polish, this is where we got into that term called goth, right? And so, long story short, what I'm getting to is that at one point in time, the kid was like bullied, and then they started to come to school in like all black with black hair and like white face makeup, and then people kind of, and it was like an intimidation factor for people who didn't understand it. It was probably just a way of them expressing themselves, but for some it was like an intimidation factor. So some of the people that would bully them then wouldn't, because who knows, they thought they would put a curse on them or put a spell on them. I said all of that to say that some people take spirituality, and that's when they feel like they're big and bad, so they would use it in a more negative way. And it's more so, one, maybe so they don't get bullied on, or two, they've gotten drunk with their own power. I'm not saying that's what this kid did. I'm just showing you how certain things unveil. So whether we want to talk about it or not, especially with spiritual warfare here, this happens. There are some people that feel like, or get into spirituality or learn certain spells and certain things because, one, it makes them feel powerful, so they get drunk on power. That's why during equinox energy, certain people cast certain spells and do certain things because they're drunk with power and they want to use other people's energy, other people's power. Now that we've had that side note, when there are true seekers that are seeking wisdom, divine insight, divine guidance, tapping into that collective creator source energy for an actual worthwhile cause is what I'll say, so that they can elevate and uplift not just themselves so they can be drunk with power, but others. There are beneficial energies that assist, that clear a path, that take that journey with you and offer clarity. Okay? Just like when you get into the darker arts, there are some that will connect with you. Now, I don't know what you're going to have to pay to get that entity off of you, but it is what it is. Okay, now that we've done all of that, I just said all of that to say that with the drinking from the emerald fountain, when you are a sincere seeker and you're trying to find the way through, that there is much help that is sent to you. I went through all of that just to say that. But either way, that's where we at with it, okay? And so, group number 3, what I'm getting with you guys and drink from the emerald fountain is that there's no need to make your life more difficult. There are those that are here to assist you with releasing any illusions and stepping into clarity, stepping into truth and purity, to help you purify your thoughts, to help you purify difficult actions, especially when they recognize that you are a sincere seeker and you're wanting to make sense and to be open to receive, to step forward and drink from the emerald fountain. That's why this is here. And the emerald fountain is like the heart chakra. It is that unconditional, loving heart energy. So with Mother Kuan Yin here, she's encouraging you to drink from the emerald fountain and allow yourself to be nourished, because it's recognized that you're a sincere seeker of truth. You're not just doing it to seek need. And she's also encouraging you that so like with need here, with the Nuda's rune here, for some of you, You may have felt the need to do some things for money that weren't exactly comfortable to you or for you. That's where this Five of Cup energy comes into play here for some of you. But the unnecessary stress about the needs of the day to day can be released. In order for you to make the most of this equinox energy, recognize that you have spiritual help. If you can see things from a higher perspective, like, yes, we are a part of this mundane world. We do have needs, money, tools, there are things, right? But there's also the bigger energy of the spiritual realm, because things happen there first. So if you can focus, especially during this equinox energy, on the higher realm, on the higher energy of the spiritual realm, seeking this truth and purifying your energy, staying in a more energy of purity, not being weighed down with the needs and the cares of this world, finding that balance, it will allow you to step into this rebirth during the equinox energy. Feel like, know that you already are wealthy. Even if it's in the spiritual realm, it has to happen there first before it manifests itself here for you in this realm, in this more dense realm. You have guidance with your ancestors and and the wisdom that they're wanting to impart in you, so that you can have clarity and set clear plans for this wealth. For a lot of you that is coming forth, it has already been established, I'm getting, for a lot of you in the spiritual realm. Some of you may need to journey within, some of you will be taking a journey. But it's time to pick up after yourself. Being too focused on the cares of this world, on the material things, will keep your heart weighed down. Can you find the balance with this equinox energy to recognize that the spiritual is just as important, and that you have divine guidance, assistance here for you, especially if you're a sincere seeker of this wisdom. Even your ancestors are here backing you and wanting to impart this wisdom to you. Okay, so you made some mistakes with some people. Release those toxic energies so that you can align your heart chakra. Drinking from the emerald fountain, if it's not as easy for you, allow the Divine Mother Kuan Yin to assist you with that. Allow your ancestors to assist you with that. For some of you, you're at a point on your path where you may need this support to rise up and break through. And that's how you can make the most of this equinox energy. Like, the time is here. Your ancestors are here. They're willing. Drinking from this fountain will allow you to step fully into your truth. Not what others see truth for you, but your truth, and how you can balance out your spiritual body along with the things that are happening here, so that you can have a peace of mind, not worried about the things that went wrong with people, with actions that you took. You needed those actions to help you along this path. They were lessons. Use those actions and even those toxic relationships to help you step into your vision, your inner strength, seeing the bigger picture of what's happening. For a lot of you, a part of your consciousness is aware of this, but you're needing to balance this out. So you're needing to tap into your inner strength and allow this change to happen. For some of you, your spiritual body is thirsting for this. It wants to be quenched with drinking from this emerald fountain so that your heart can be open to this equinox energy that's being made available for you with support and assistance from your ancestors, from the Divine Mother Kuan Yin, so that these truths can be revealed to you. Truths about your wealth for some of you, truths about this rebirth, truths about how to move into a peaceful, calm state, loving yourself, and an overflow of wisdom, of clarity. Not worried about whatever spiritual warfare is going on. Yes, you need to be aware of it. But know that you got your ancestors here. So anything that's happening, it's backfiring and it's returning to sender. Allow your ancestors to help you. Allow this reserve of great support that is here for you. This allows your soul to be strengthened and for you to tap into this inner strength. Allow your heart to be filled up from this emerald fountain. Emerald, the color of green, overflowing with heart chakra energy because you have this support. It's like spiritually you don't know how loved you are. Group number 3 is what I'm getting. And that's why you guys are being initiated at this time into divine wisdom, so that you can have this breakthrough. It's like you guys are on a threshold and you're about to cross over into major things. For some of you, you may be on a boat crossing over. Some of you are going to take a trip with Journey here. A trip out of your country for some of you. An inner trip for others of you. See, your way may have seemed cloudy, but there's always someone that's there guiding you so that you don't feel alone. So that you know that you're supported. Because it's like you're a unicorn to them. And they just want you to see the sparkly, glittery, spiritual essence that is available to you, the spiritual support. But it's going to take you getting balanced throughout this equinox energy, releasing these toxic relationships, because you're going through a very important spiritual growth right now, group number 3. It's a rebirth. It says spring equinox, but equinox energy nonetheless, because we're asking for wisdom on how you can make the best of this equinox energy. So for a lot of you, this is like the initiation, the beginning with the autumn equinox, and you guys will be fully feeling supported, fully in your power, fully in your truth come the spring equinox for a lot of you, standing fully in your confidence and your inner strength elevated. But make the most of this equinox energy by releasing toxic relationships and picking up after yourself. How are you picking up after yourself? By allowing yourself to be supported in the spiritual realms by your ancestors, by the Divine Mother Kuan Yin, and drinking from the emerald fountain, which just says, let your heart be at peace, be satiated. Not be in fear, seeing from a higher perspective. Receiving this support so that you can break through and be initiated and fully in your power by the spring equinox for a lot of you, group number 3. Accept this love that is pouring out endlessly for you guys. Balance out your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is this portal, this gateway where your ancestors are connecting with you. These toxic relationships for a lot of you had your heart chakras bound up. Balance that out. Use this equinox energy to step fully into who you are. Use the purity. Purify yourself. And again, allow that spiritual thirst. Some of you are spiritually thirsty. But that's okay because you support it. Look, Mother Kuan Yin has the water for you. You see the lotus flower there? And there's going to be some truth that's going to be revealed as these changes are happening for you. Let these cycles end. Be the unicorn that you are. You guys are wealthier than you know. A lot of you, especially in the spiritual realm, but let it now get fully initiated so that it can come forth for you. With the Feihu rune here, a lot of you are too focused on the needs, the material, the things of this realm. But really your assets or the balance happens with the spiritual and the things of the mundane. Not so focused on one and what you need and feeling like the storm is all around you. Know that your needs will be met. You have those that see your needs. Can you know that you're wealthy already spiritually? You're abundant, overflowing. Don't let certain cycles keep you caught up in feeling like, one, keeping your heart chakra blocked, but two, not recognizing that this rebirth is happening for you. Be able to see things from a higher perspective. And it's time to live out your divine purpose in this physical world too. A lot of you are seeing synchronicities. But your higher self is like setting you on a schedule, and it's saying it's planning this initiation for you guys so that you can be you can be in a certain destination in time and space and set events in motion. It's time to set certain events in motion for you guys. So tap into your inner strength. Not worried about this spiritual warfare. That stuff's backfiring. Your higher self already got this under control. And so does your ancestors. And so does the Divine Mother Kuan Yin. She's right there with you guys. Allow yourself to be helped. Tap into this support that's available to you. Allow your soul to be strengthened and tap into your inner strength. Allow yourself to be loved. Giving and receiving of love. Don't always, I just heard, you guys are very giving. How good are you at receiving? Receiving love and support from your ancestors. Receiving love and support for others. Yes, you made some mistakes for some of you. Yes, you were connected to some toxic relationships. But all of that's a part of spiritual warfare. Can you see from a higher perspective of how you've grown now? Can you feel now how supported you are? Receive this support so that you can have this breakthrough. Okay, group number 3. And then your card says turquoise. This beautiful sky blue stone is a healing stone. It is especially powerful when used on the throat, solar plexus, and the third eye. It has been known to calm mood swings and stabilize running thoughts and worries. At the same time, it can stimulate romance and love. Ooh, love from your ancestors. Love from the Divine Mother Kuan Yin. Love and support from others, romantic and platonic. Tap into your inner strength. Release what needs to be released so that you can fully make the most of this equinox energy. Oh, I did say I'd find out a little bit more about this initiation real quick. I don't want the video to get any longer, really. The time is now, group number 3. You guys can step into having peace now. Not worried about what went wrong. Love yourself and allow yourself to be loved. Tell us about this initiation for group number 3. What do they need to know to make the most out of this equinox energy with initiation here? Yeah, it's time to get stable, stability. This initiation is going to help you to feel more stable and stability. This initiation is going to help some of you manifest the needs that you need in this realm. For some of you, it's a house. It's going to allow you to feel more stable, more grounded, more foundational, more wealthy, more connected, more able to have those that you can collaborate with, not worrying about spiritual warfare or any spells that are sent, because ancestors are like, we on point, we got your back, we got you, we sending that stuff back. Divine Mother Kuan Yin is like, sit girl, drink, sit honey, baby, sit, drink, be supported, be loved. Look, you already surrounded by the water, it's fresh water, drink, okay? Group number 3, that has been your reading. Thank you for joining me, Tonae Star. Here with Tonae Star Enterprises, all of you multidimensional architects and spiritual alchemists. If you have made it this far in the video, do the YouTube thing, like, share, subscribe, so that we can get the messages out to others, and so that others may receive this message and make the most of their equinox energy. Thank you for joining me.